Hello everyone, it's day 41 of my 60 pounds and 90 days weight loss challenge. And today we're going to talk about whether eating super low calorie will wreck your metabolism. So we've been getting a lot of conflicting information because a lot of us who are in the keto community or are practicing intermittent fasting or extended fasting, listen to Jimmy Moore, who has a podcast called Living La Vida Low Carb. We listen to the guests that he has on, and one of the guests that he has on is Dr. Jason Fung, who is very knowledgeable about fasting and an advocate for fasting. And I can't remember, I think he's a kidney doctor up in Canada, and he has a lot of his patients that come in go on low carb and fasting diets and cures a lot of well, maybe not cures, but reverses the effects of a lot of problems that they have. I was listening to him talk at the Vail Low Carb Conference on one of the podcasts that Jimmy Moore had posted, and he was saying that if you fast, your metabolism is virtually unchanged. If you are eating low carb, your metabolism is virtually unchanged. And when we say metabolism, we're talking about our basal metabolic rate. But if you're on a so-called balanced diet, a carb-laden balanced diet, and you cut your calories, your basal metabolic rate will lower to match your intake. And that's why a lot of times, even when people cut their calories, they don't lose weight when they're doing a Weight Watchers type diet where they're allowed to have every one of the macronutrients as long as they fit it into a calorie level. They're allowed to have carbohydrates. They're allowed to have whatever protein they want. And then typically they're eating low-fat foods to keep them in that point range or in that calorie range. And the basal metabolic rate is actually changing and adapting to this new food intake to where they get lower calorie output to match their lower calorie intake, and so they don't lose any weight. And then on top of that, when they stop the diet, before their metabolism adjusts again, which I'm not sure how long that takes, but before their metabolism adjusts again, they actually gain more weight than they lost in the first place, because now they've increased their calorie intake, but their basal metabolic rate hasn't adjusted upwards yet. Now on this fasting talk program that Jimmy Moore has, and he has Dr. Jason Fung, it's like a collab with each other. He has one of his dietitian or clinicians that runs his diet program at his clinic on the podcast, saying that they actually do worry about people who are intermittent fasting getting enough calories to keep their metabolism revved up. That's the opposite of what I've heard from them before. So we're kind of getting mixed signals. Personally, I eat low calorie and intermittent fast, and because I would say that most days, and I've told you what I eat before, most days my calories are below 1,000 calories. Now, every once in a while, like today, I'm going to eat higher calories. But today we're running our errands and we're going to go to the Panda Express. I'm not going to try to limit my calorie intake there, only my carbohydrate intake. And I'm probably going to eat some eggs and sausage today too, because my eggs are piling up on me from the chicken pen. And so I'll probably eat, if I had to guess, I'll probably eat 1,700 to 2,000 calories today. But 5 or 6 days a week, I'm only eating 500 to 1,000 calories. Most days falling right around that 700 calorie mark. Now I've had a few extra calories the last couple days because I've had some bulletproof coffee with butter in it. This coffee is just black, it doesn't have butter, because I don't need any extra calories today over what I'm going to eat. So that's how you add extra calories if you want extra calories. Like if you are concerned about being on low carb and low calorie and think it's going to hurt your metabolism, it's perfectly fine and healthy to lose weight at a slower pace. And so you can just add extra fat in the forms of coconut oil, olive oil, avocado oil, butter, or more fatty meats. You can add those things into your diet to increase the calorie intake if you feel like you're losing weight too fast. In fact, after my initial 90-day challenge that I'm doing here, I'm going to increase my calorie intake because I want to start building a lot of muscle, and I'm going to have to increase my protein intake. Not that you can't build muscle without exogenous proteins and carbohydrates, but it makes it a lot easier. And I haven't done enough research on it to know how hard it is to build muscle only utilizing minor amounts of protein and fat. So we'll have to get into that later. But as far as I'm concerned, I've been eating this way on and off for a long time, and I've come all the way down from about 400 pounds to 265 pounds, and it's still working for me. So your metabolism might be reduced, but it's not going to reduce to zero. People who fast don't ever stop losing weight. You're never going to stop losing weight as long as you're eating low calorie. Now, you might have to eat lower calorie if your metabolic rate gets lowered, but you're not going to ever stop losing weight as long as you're willing to continue to cut those calories, which you can do easier when you're fasting and when you're on a ketogenic diet, because you're more sated, or you have more satiety because of the fat content of your diet than if you were eating if you were eating a lot of carbs and you were hungry, immediately after you ate them. So please put your comments below and let me know what you think. The last minute of my video yesterday got cut off when I was trying to upload it. So I was trying to tell people that you really need to pay attention to your own body. If you're having issues, you need to find a doctor to oversee what you're doing. I personally haven't been to the doctor in years. I don't plan on going to the doctor again for years. That's one of the reasons why I'm making such an effort to be healthy, because I don't like going to the doctor. I think you go there and there's people in the waiting room and you get sick. The doctors don't really know what they're doing half the time. They don't have education on nutrition. They don't have education on diagnosing illnesses like they should. They think they're smarter than they really are a lot of times, and so they just apply this blanket diagnosis to everybody that comes in. This treatment for everybody is the same. There's really just no custom medical care in the medical care that I've been getting, because I have insurance and I go to Kaiser, and it's kind of just like in and out. They don't want to spend any time with you individually. They just want to get you in and out. So I don't prefer to go to the doctor unless I absolutely have to. But if you want somebody to oversee your diet, go to the doctor. Nobody's stopping you. And anyway, please like the video below. Let me know what you think about your basal metabolic rate getting lower. And here's the weigh-in from today, even though we know we missed the one from yesterday. Have a good one.
264.6.